Robbie here. Time to get into my player ratings. My player ratings, not as observed from being in the ground, but observed from watching it on my phone, watching it on Sky Go on my phone, pulled over on the side of the road with cars whizzing past me. But listen, I still managed to catch the majority of the game. I only missed about the first 10 to 15 minutes. The first half was unforgettable anyway, apart from Eze's brilliant goal. And it wasn't the greatest game in the world. I've got to say, it was that first half in particular was pretty boring. Arsenal stepped it up in the second half, and it was just compared to the game on Wednesday, which was so much action. You know, what I mean, so exciting. It was a pretty dead game, but these are the type of games that win you titles. You know what I mean? We've seen Arsenal in the past, you know, dominate games, smashing teams, you know, with possession and that, and then end up losing or drawing the game. So it's about being clinical. It's about having a solid defense, and that's what Arsenal have got. So time to get into the player ratings. Let me start off with David Raya in goal. Another clean sheet for David Raya. Still hasn't, conceded a goal from open play this season. Didn't have a lot to do today. He had more to do than some of the other games, but only one shot on target. And that was the first for quite a few games as well. But only one shot on target by Crystal Palace today. And David Raya relatively untroubled. There was one time when there was like, I think it was a set piece that came in where Eddie Nketiah kind of got underneath it, and it was a little bit of, was it flappy hands, or did he sort of get his hands? He went to catch it, and Nketiah kind of got underneath him. But I thought he'd done all right today, Raya. I'm going to give him a 7. Another clean sheet. What else? That's a good performance. Urian Timber today I thought was solid. Yet again, brilliantly defensively. Maybe not as good today when going forward, but defensively he was brilliant. One of the better players today I felt for Arsenal. I'm going to give him an 8. William Saliba, he came off. I'm not sure what the injury was, but he came off. He's getting a bit of a hard time in that first half from Mateta, I thought. So I don't know what the injury was, but he came off for Mascara. But I'm going to give Saliba a 5 today. It wasn't that great today. Gabriel Magalhaes, on the other hand, was very, very good. I mean, he put in a couple of very good passes, by the way, to Gyökeres. And defensively, he was brilliant. Caused chaos. Did you see the time when he collided with the post? Right, in his private part. I mean, listen, that shows how strong this guy is. But for me today, he was brilliant. Really commanding in defence. I'm going to give him an 8. Calafiori, a quieter one for him, but listen, more defensive duties for him today as well. I thought, we know that Crystal Palace are brilliant on the counter-attack with guys like Munoz, etc. And he had to do his defensive duties more than the sort of attacking duties today. So I'm going to give him a 7. It's another clean sheet for that back four. So apart from Saliba, I thought they all done very, very well. Moving into midfield, Zubimendi, solid. Again, a little bit sloppy at the start of the game. Wasn't as great as he was against Atletico, but a decent game for him. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Declan Rice, something to when he came off, I thought he was really, really good. Can't afford to lose him. That's, we talk about having this great squad, which Arsenal do have, and you saw again today. But one player that we can't afford to lose is Declan Rice. This guy is a very, very good player, especially in games like this. Even doing the long throw today, he's got another string to his bow. So Rice today, I'm going to give Rice an 8. I thought he was really, really good. Eberici Eze is going to be my man of the match, though. Decent performance by him, but the goal was absolutely brilliant. Let me tell you something. There's not many people who can score that goal. The ball's bouncing up. The way he gets under it and hits that, sort of half volley, absolutely brilliant goal. Worthy of winning any game against his old club. He didn't want to celebrate. You could see he wanted to celebrate because he scored his debut goal for Arsenal in the Premier League. But then, out of respect for Palace, which he has a lot of respect for them, he didn't, and we can see why. But I thought today he's my man in the match. He gets an 8. Same as, say, maybe a Gabriel, but for me, he's a standout guy because he's the difference maker in the game. Bukayo Saka today, very, very quiet. Looked well out of sorts today. I guess I have to give him a 4 because it was a below par performance. Par is 5, and he was below par. So I'm going to give him a 5. Victor Gyökeres, I'm going to give him a 6. Again, I want to see him hold that ball better. Like a couple of times the ball came into him, the touch was too heavy, but his work rate was brilliant. But listen, you're in there for goals. You need goals, right? Got 2 during the week. Didn't get any today. Want to see some better balls as well played into him. A lot of balls are under hit, over hit. But Gyökeres today worked hard, but no goals really from him. So I'm going to give him a 6. Leandro Trossard, I thought he weren't great in the first half, but in the second half, he was the better of the forward players. I thought in the second half, he carried a big threat, played really, really well in the second half. So I'm going to give him a 7. Let's run through the subs. Henkapi came on. He looked decent when he came on. Only came on around about the 82nd minute, but did all right when he came on. So normally I'd say standard 5, so I'm going to give him a 6. Christian Mosquera came on again. The composure of this kid is brilliant. Came in for Saliba. We all know seasons gone by when Saliba comes off the pitch, we're panicking, especially when you're up against, your Matetas and people like that. There's only kind of one time he got caught out by Mateta, but he still managed to sort of smartly bring him down, although Mateta made a bit of a meal of it. So I thought he'd done really, really well. I'm going to give Christian Mosquera a 7. Did really well when he came on. Mika Marino came on, did all right. Wanted him to look after the ball a little bit better. So standard 5. Same for Mars Lewis Skelly. 5 for him. And Gabriel Martinelli, I'm going to give him a 5 as well. Brought a bit of energy to proceedings. Actually, no, 6. He brought a bit of energy to proceedings. And we needed that at that time. So well done to Martinelli for his little cameo. Probably could have scored as well. Getting into the referee, I thought the referee today, apparently it was a new referee. Hadn't refereed an Arsenal game before. Unfussy, let a lot of things go on both sides, so we had a flowing game. I thought he did all right. Give the referee a 7. Mikel Arteta today, listen, it wasn't a great game. He would have wanted to see better football, but his team has won again. They've gone top of the league. They've capitalised on Liverpool dropping points, on Man City dropping points. And a win is a win at this stage. And he's got his team well drilled. We don't seem to look like we're going to concede a goal when we goal up. So Mikel Arteta today is the big 3 points. 8 out of 10. The fans, well, I can't really give the fans anything because I weren't at the game. So I'm going to skip the fans. I'll go to the airline that made my flight end up being over 3 hours delayed, which meant that I missed the game. They get 0. Egypt here, 0, right? But those are my player ratings. Not sure what the guys will be, their ratings for the game. I did watch the game, but it was a shame that I wasn't there. But listen, the most important thing today is that it's 3 points and we're top of the league. GFN Soccer TV, with all your favourite shows in one place, is now live in the UK with Samsung TV Plus.